Welcome to the On Deck podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann, getting ready to break down your day of daily fantasy baseball. We'll also get to some prop bets for you and our home run calls as usual. We are going to start off today. It is Thursday, July 28th. It is also National Milk Chocolate Day, which is ironic considering
R.I.P.
just days, news broke that the Klondike Choco Taco is discontinued, prompting internet outrage across the world. Tyler, what are your immediate thoughts?
Well, I had friends yesterday with their kids going around trying to buy as many as they could.
This is like the apocalypse?
Apparently, their kids said it was like the most fun day of summer they've had, too. So.
Just stocking up on Choco Tacos, huh?
I don't know what it means for what he's done for his kid's summer, but
I know this is blasphemous, but I was not a Choco Taco kid.
They're good.
Yeah?
They're good.
I've never had a Choco Taco.
Wait, what?
I've never had a Choco Taco.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I was Team Chipwich.
I mean, Chipwiches are delicious. You can't go wrong with that.
Team Creamsicle.
But yeah,
Team Toasted Almond.
The thing is that several of these Mexican taco shops we have here in San Diego would carry them regularly, you know, so you could get them a lot easier than you could
in San Diego.
Yeah, you could get them a lot easier here than you could. You can't go to your pizza store and get a Choco Taco.
Fair enough. Being from the Northeast.
Good old Jersey.
Yes, might be a regional thing. Could be. So let's get to some MLB storylines because we've got a lot to get to today as the trade deadline is approaching and things are heating up. Royals outfielder Andrew Benintendi is now a Yankee. Put the man in pinstripes.
I bet he's had a Choco Taco.
You think he's had a Choco Taco?
He's had one.
Well, I hope he gets them before maybe a Yankee Stadium has some before they're discontinued. Anyways, he is a nice addition to the Yankees. Nice lefty bat, 320 average, 340 against righties. So it'll be a great addition for them. The Yankees just gave up 3 prospects for him, and it'll be a nice addition, especially with Giancarlo. Not really sure what his injury status is going to be moving forwards. Achilles injury. One of those ones that can make you a little nervous.
Absolutely. Hopefully for the Yankees, they're not losing Stanton because they need to get rid of Gallo.
Yes.
And agreed. I blame Gallo for not hitting my Scherzer prop yesterday.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't play.
Exactly.
He plays
and
it's yesterday, at least 2 Ks.
2 strikeouts at least. So the other thing that happened yesterday, the Subway Series ended. Yankees lost that. Max Scherzer was on the hill. He had a great game, as we talked about yesterday in our daily fantasy report. So apparently he used PitchCom for the first time in that game and did quite well, 6 shutout innings. However, after the game, he was asked about it. He still thinks it should be illegal. Does it help? He said, yes, but I think it should be illegal. I don't think it should be in the game. So I ask you, Tyler, what are your thoughts on PitchCom? Have you given it much thought?
So I haven't given it much thought, but obviously PitchCom is trying to avoid people stealing signs, right?
Yeah.
But that's always been part of baseball.
That was, I think, a big reason why Scherzer...
That's why third or first base coaches are, hiding their signs, doing a bunch of random stuff to not show the other team what the sign is going to be. And so it's been about...
a lost art of...
Yes, it's been part of baseball.
Part of the game. I see.
And teams have always tried to steal signs. Again, that's part of trying to figure out your opponent.
It's technology.
Get
with the times, Tyler.
Why don't you have a Choco Taco and then talk to me?
Tyler's got his flip phone out, Get with the times.
I like that part of baseball.
I do appreciate that perspective, though, that, there is like an art to it, right? So, but that, not anymore. So long to that. Cubs on a 6-game win streak starting their series against the Giants today. And in the latest Rookie of the Year poll, no surprise here, really. In the AL, Julio Rodriguez is the clear front runner there. And in the NL, it's Spencer Strider.
Again, no surprise.
No surprises there.
Nope.
In other news that I had to mention, an all-women crew set the world record rowing time from San Francisco to Honolulu. They finished 2,400 nautical miles, 34 days, 14 hours, and 11 minutes, 2-hour rowing shifts, and around 90 minutes of sleep each day. So
that's crazy.
Congrats, girl power. Let's do it. But can you imagine
34
rowing
days
in a boat to Hawaii? Can you?
San Francisco to Hawaii? I can. And the whole reason is that a friend of mine and I were planning on paddling from San Diego to Cabo. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to do a paddle trip and do that
intense.
And camp, at night in random beaches on Baja. And the trip never came to fruition, but because of that, I can kind of see it.
All right.
The thing that's crazy to me, though, is that 90 minutes of sleep for 34 days.
That's not healthy.
Is that 90 minutes of sleep? That's crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. So congrats to them. That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
There are a few games where they might need a boat because it's supposed to rain. That's my transition. You like that? Okay.
I like it.
Let's get to some weather notes here. The Royals at Yankees. Oh, conveniently, the Yankees are playing the Royals, by the way.
Yep.
Awkward reunion for Benintendi.
Awkward or happy?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's probably happy about going to a first place team.
Yeah, but it's still awkward. It's like, your buds.
Unless he doesn't like...
It's kind of awkward.
If he doesn't like Singer, he's like, ha, get to hit you today.
Good point. So the weather there is 32% chance of rain. There are some early storms in the northeast. Mm-hmm. It might delay, but they should play no problem. And then that same storm's moving up to Boston. So that one's a little bit more risky. Mm-hmm. Watch out for a postponement there. They might just decide not to play, so keep an eye on it. And then Dodgers at the Rockies. Coors Field, 58% chance of rain and should clear before the game. Right now those are the reports coming out of there. Oh, I do need to note that there are winds blowing to left at the Bronx, winds blowing out at Fenway as well.
Warm weather too.
8-mile-an-hour winds at Coors Field, although not as warm as the temperatures in the Northeast in the 80s. You got 73 degrees at Coors Field. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below on our YouTube channel. Keep up with all our latest videos that we're coming out with. We got a lot of football content coming up, which is exciting.
Talk shit to Shannon about not even a Choco taco.
I'm gonna bleep you out. I gotta bleep you out now, Tyler.
Yep.
Chalk report for today. Let's get to our daily fantasy guys for today. Of course, it is showtime. Shohei Ohtani on the mound today, which he's got to be the highest owned pitcher of the day, and he sure is. 43% on both sites going up against the Rangers today. And the Unicorn did show signs of, being immortal. 6 earned runs, including 2 home runs against the Braves, although he still had 11 strikeouts.
Yeah.
What do you see from him going up against a Rangers team today? They got some hitters.
Well, I'm going to start off by saying DraftKings is still drunk with his pricing. He is way too cheap on DraftKings, and 43% ownership on DraftKings is probably a deal. Mm-hmm. But he has a 5-star alert rating. He is the highest LineStar projection by over 2 points on both sites, 33% combined K rate. So you got to like his chances today. I love him on DraftKings. I will have a lot of him.
I saw Shohei get interviewed during the All-Star break, and they asked him, how would Shohei, the pitcher, do against Shohei, the hitter? Mm-hmm. And he said, at the time, the pitcher would dominate. So I thought that was pretty funny. Giants lefty Alex Woods going up against the Cubs. He is 31% owned on DraftKings, 8% owned on FanDuel. Got a 4.21 ERA, 2.62 opponent average. Last game against the Dodgers, he did give up 2 home runs in 4 innings, but he has had at least 6 strikeouts the past 3 games. And all against pretty good teams. So he's been pretty solid. We like to see a George Bulldog in our high-owned stacks, or our high-owned pitchers. Right?
I really like Alex Wood.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he wasn't quite as high-owned.
Right.
Although on FanDuel, he's not that high-owned. But 2.65 FIP over the last 5 games with a 30% K rate. So those are like elite-type numbers. Wood is not elite. He will regress from that a little bit, but he is very good, and he's been great lately. 28% combined K rate at his price. It's a great deal.
Yeah.
The other thing is the game is at home, and the weather there is really chilly, which we know is good for
pitchers, right.
Yeah. So, and then also his StatCast data is really good, so I do like him today.
Yeah. I was tempted with a strikeout prop for him. It's 6.5. And the Cubs do, I know they're on kind of a hot streak, but they do strike out a lot. I think they're 7th in the last 30 days or so in strikeout rate.
I looked at it too. I just thought the line was a little high.
Right.
So
I didn't use that prop.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to what I did take. Phillies righty Zach Wheeler going up against the Pirates today. He's 31% owned on DraftKings, 21% owned on FanDuel. 2.78 ERA. Of course, we know what we're getting with Zach Wheeler. Last outing versus the Cubs, just 1 earned run on 3 hits, 7 innings pitched, and 6 strikeouts. Although he did get touched up the previous start against the Blue Jays. What do you expect from Wheeler against the Pirates today?
Well, it's the Pirates.
Pretty anemic.
So 4.5 alert star rating. He has the 2nd highest projection for pitchers. And, 23% combined K rate, which is 10% lower than Shohei, which is part of the reason why I'm saying I'll have a lot of Shohei. I think his ownership is good. Wheeler, 21% on FanDuel. There is kind of a nice leverage taking him over Shohei there. So I do like the thought of that, but he is a great pitcher. And one thing is he hasn't been totally locked in over his last 5 games. His ERA is low still, but he does have a 4 FIP over those last 5 versus 2.69 over his last 20. So he has not been quite the pitcher that he is capable of over the short term.
Did you take Shohei? Would you take 2 of these high-owned guys in a DraftKings?
Today, just like yesterday, it's another day where I'm not really loving the low-owned stuff. So I would absolutely do that.
Well, let's take a look at those low-owned plays for today. Astros righty Jose Urquidy going up against the Mariners. He is 8% owned on DraftKings, 3% owned on FanDuel. 3.93 ERA, 2.58 opponent average. He's a really solid pitcher. Last game against the Mariners, 1 earned run in 6 innings. Just 3 strikeouts though, so not the high strikeout.
And he doesn't have that high strikeout, high ceiling like Ohtani and Wheeler. But he is a solid pitcher, 5-star alert rating, 20% combined K rate to put some numbers to those words there. He only has a 2.43 ERA over the last 5, but again, like Wheeler, his FIP is right around 4. He's allowing a ton of fly balls, but not much hard contact and not many barreled balls. So I think he can kind of keep this up, and it's also probably why his FIP is a little bit higher than his ERA. Now, the whole downside, though, is just he doesn't have that upside that Wheeler and Ohtani do, so both of them probably need to fail for Urquidy to be optimal.
So kind of a leverage situation there. Next up is my favorite name in baseball right now, Red Sox righty Cutter Crawford. He's going up against the Guardians today, 7% owned on DraftKings, 2% owned on FanDuel. 4.50 ERA, 2.42 opponent average. Getting stretched out a little bit. He's been holding his own, including holding the Yankees to just 1 earned run, 4 hits, and 5 a few starts ago. He had 6 strikeouts in that game. So I like this. This is an interesting one. Yeah,
I mean, the one thing is Boston has been terrible lately, and their defense has been just awful.
Yeah.
Just throwing the ball away left and right and just missing plays. So it is obviously risky with that. It is also risky because this game could be PBD'd. So make sure if you want to use Cutter that you are paying attention to the weather. But he does have a 3.07 FIP over the last 5 starts, 26% K rate. And at his salaries on DraftKings and FanDuel at 6.1 and 7.1, there's a lot of upside there at those prices with that K rate. The combined K rate is 21%. Cleveland is a good offense. They don't strike out a ton. So that LineStar alert score is only 1.5, again, adding to that risk. But I think there's too much upside to not mention.
And how could you not want to have a guy named Cutter Crawford in your lineup,
Yeah.
Let's get to our stack report for today and take a look at some high-owned stacks on the slate for today. We're first going to be talking about the Dodgers. Why Coors Field? They're going up against Rockies righty Jose Urena. Remember, he was with the Brewers. Now he's been with the Rockies for the past month, and he's been a little up and down. Last game, 5 earned runs and 5 1/3 against the Brewers. Ironically, his starts haven't been as bad at Coors Field.
Yep.
However, we're talking about the Dodgers at Coors Field, so obviously we can see why people are leaning this way. The question is, with the ownership where it is, are you fading the Dodgers?
And the Dodgers are way higher owned than everybody else, like 2.5 to 3 times higher owned than any other stack. So just be mindful of that. But the whole reason is it's Colorado and it is Jose Urena. 5.18 FIP over his last 20, but 4.38 over his last 5. And now this last 5 is more so that time with Colorado. So he has been decent with Colorado. He's been okay. 3.08.
Yeah.
With ERA with him, but he is allowing 33% hard contact and tons of barreled balls.
Okay.
So I would expect, though, that ERA number to kind of get up there and match that FIP. We have a 6.6 run total. Like that run total is huge for the Dodgers. Whereas, the other top offenses we're looking at Colorado's in the 5s, but everybody else is like 4.6, 4.7-ish. So
you're not. It doesn't sound like you totally want to fade them.
I don't think that you can totally fade them. If you're playing a lot of lineups, I definitely would not have all Dodgers.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about the Guardians. That's where a lot of people are going as well, going up against Red Sox Cutter Crawford, which we talked about. So either you're taking a chance on Cutter Crawford or you're just saying, nope, not today. I'm going Guardians.
Yeah, and I wrote up Crawford, but he could also easily fail. He's lying 47% fly balls, only 26% ground balls, and only 12% soft contact. So guys, when they do hit him, they might not be hitting him hard because his hard contact number is low, but they're not like missing the ball. He's allowed 7 earned run over his last 17 innings. There's a 4.6 implied run total here. So I get why people want to pick on him as well. Again, this game could be postponed.
Right.
So just pay attention.
Yeah, keep an eye on that weather. Let's take a look at some lower-owned stacks. First, we're going to talk about the Yankees, who are going up against Royals. Brady Singer today, who's got a 3.82 ERA, 2.53 opponent average. And he just racked up 12 strikeouts against the Rays, which makes me a little concerned about the Yankees. However, I think they're going to I do think that they're going to rebound after that Subway Series. So.
BVP data, okay. 34 plate attempts. They're hitting 423 off of him with over a 500 WOBA.
Okay, thanks for restoring my faith.
Singer has been good lately, but his StatCast data hasn't been great. 30% hard contact, 34% line drives, very high average exit velocity. So the teams have been hitting him hard, even though he's had good results. And you don't want to go against the Yankees and allow hard contact.
Nope. Especially not today with winds blowing out and
winds blowing out. You also have Benintendi, who's really good at getting on base. We have a Vegas run total of 5 for the Yankees. Okay. So I do really like them as a pivot off of that Dodgers ownership because they are a more expensive stack. So.
I didn't pick a Yankee today for my home run call, but I thought about it.
I thought about using my prop pick also as my home run call.
I mean, I think someone's going yard today for the Yankees for sure.
I would agree so.
Let's take a look at the Tigers going up against Blue Jays lefty Yusei Kikuchi, activated from the 15-day DL he was dealing with a neck injury. 5.12 ERA. Last game gave up 4 earned runs in 2 1/3. Not sure if that was more just injury related. Nonetheless, some of these Tigers can hit the ball.
They've been hot lately, and Kikuchi all season has either been really good or really bad. And lately it's been really bad.
Yeah.
9.18 FIP over his last 5 and walking 6.6 batters per 9. So he's allowing a lot of people on base. He's also allowing 30% hard contact, and he has a super high 94.3 average exit velocity. So teams are hitting him hard. Detroit is hot. They do have some young, exciting players. And by stacking Detroit, you could play Ohtani and Wheeler.
Really like Jeimer Candelario today. So he's been one of the hottest hitters since the All-Star break. He has 4 home runs since the All-Star break, and he's been hitting 458 in that span. So I mean, I love that play for today, specifically when Kikuchi's home run per 9 is 1.94. Yeah. So he was another candidate for my home run calls.
If bad Kikuchi shows up, then Detroit could smash.
Definitely. All right. So remember, all of the stats we talk about, and especially that ownership, which is so crucial in daily fantasy, that's all available on the LineStar app, linestarapp.com. Make sure to check it out. Right now, we'll take a look at the LineStar app to get our sleeper picks of the day. So taking a look at our sleeper pick of the day on DraftKings, we're going to go into the LineStar app, sort by value, and we get Greg Allen of the Pittsburgh Pirates going against Zach Wheeler today. We'll pull up his player card, see a little bit more about why the LineStar apps really likes him. Well, he's batting second. We always love that. And the Philly bullpen, Zach Wheeler is a great pitcher. We know that. But the bullpen, 26 against switch hitters, giving up 2.717 fantasy points per plate appearance. And he's done pretty well in home games, 2.5 fantasy points per game in 2 home games and 1.67 over the last 3 games. Coming in at $2,000. Not a bad play there. I think I like the Pirates. Every once in a while you see some of these young guys put up some points in fantasy.
Sure do.
So not a bad play there at that price point. Let's take a look at the FanDuel sleeper. And we're going to go Max Stassi. Going to go a catcher going up against Spencer Howard of the Texas Rangers, who gives up a ton of contact. And
I would have wrote the Angels up as a stack
for today
if you could play Ohtani as a hitter.
Right.
But without him as a hitter, it's like, what, you're going to stack the Angels without Ohtani?
So taking a look at Stassi's player card here. We'll scroll down. He's had some great games, as you can see there in the blue boxes are his fantasy points. And so he's had a couple really good games.
The last week he crushed it.
Yeah. Batting 5th, and Howard is 281st against right-handed bats, 3.53 fantasy points per plate appearance in the Texas bullpen, 28th against righty bats. Angel Stadium is very hitter-friendly. And so, actually, Stassi, 80% barreled balls versus righties past 14 days. Pretty good numbers there. So, coming in at $2,200. Not a bad play there.
I like it.
All right. So, those are our sleeper picks of the day. Remember, you can get all of this stuff and more. I'll even give you a look at our daily matchup tool, which sometimes we use to decide some of our prop picks and stuff. So this is the daily matchup tool, just to give you a little preview of how these are basically the best matchups of the day, and it looks at each individual player's matchup for today. So that's what you can find on the LineStar app, linestarapp.com. Remember to lock in your subscription right now, $19.99 per month. The best value you will find out there, especially with those awesome ownership points for daily fantasy that you can find. Now it's time for our home run calls of the day. Quite simply, who do we think is going yard today? Tyler, who you got?
I'm going to Colorado with Chris Bryant. The game is in Colorado. It's a righty-lefty matchup, and Bryant is hitting .375 with 4 home runs off Anderson in the last 26 plate attempts, and I think he's going for 5 today.
I'm going for 3 in a row on my home run calls.
Yeah, you are. You're heating up.
I did some big-time research for today.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going Shohei Ohtani. Yes, I know he's pitching, but when I looked at the stats for today and I looked at Texas Rangers, Spencer Howard, Spencer Howard has the highest home run per 9 rate of all of the pitchers that are going up tonight. And also their bullpen gives up at least a home run per 9. And so I just think that combination, along with the fact that who is the Angels bat that you trust to hit a dinger without Mike Trout in the lineup?
It's Shohei.
It's got to be Shohei.
We know that 12K and a home run game is coming.
It's got to.
Could be tonight.
It could be today. I'm going Shohei Ohtani with a bomb today. Now, let's get to our prop bets of the day. And remember, you can play along with our prop bets at our prop bet contest on YouTube. All you have to do is make sure you are subscribed, like the video, and comment below, and you will be automatically entered in for a chance to win $60 if Tyler and I both hit our props for the day. Then one lucky commenter will win $60, easy as that. Also, you can tail our picks if you want on the Underdog Sports app. Just download the Underdog Sports app, and new users who deposit at least $10 can get up to $100 matched. And love some Underdog Sports. They have some great value, as we will get into today with some of our prop bets. So, prop bets for today. Tyler, where are you headed?
I am going to New York with Matt Carpenter over 0.5 hits. Nice. Versus righties, Carpenter's hitting .278, and Singer is giving up almost an 800 OPS to lefties. Add in 90-degree temps, the wind blowing out, and I really like Carpenter's chances of getting a hit tonight.
Oh, love
almost.
Carpy.
I almost took him for a home run.
Yeah.
So 0.5 hits, he's got it.
Yeah, Carpy's solid. I'm going Brandon Belt over 0.5 hits. That's also in the sports books. I found that at -170 in some places. So on Underdog, you're getting really great value for that bet. Now, he'll be going up against Cubs lefty Justin Steele. He actually has reverse splits. Remember, Belt is a lefty hitter. So that bodes well for Belt. Now, I know that Belt doesn't do as well against lefties. In fact, just a 178 average. But he does so much better at home, hitting over 300 at home. This game's in San Francisco tonight, so I think Brandon Belt will get that one hit. That's all he needs to get, and we win. That's it. The giraffe will deliver.
The giraffe. That's the best name.
It is a great nickname, one of the great ones, along with Polar Bear.
Polar Bear's a solid
Polar Bear
one.
Delivered for me yesterday.
Yep, and good old Showtime.
Showtime.
How good do you think he would be, Shohei, if he just focused on one, either hitting or pitching?
That's an interesting question. Because
one
might argue that he might just be the same.
I was talking to a friend about this yesterday, and it's like, when he asked me the question, I was like, I don't care. He's too good at both to stop.
Because sometimes when, you're focusing on both, if you overly focus on one thing to be good at one thing, sometimes mentally, whereas if you're, I don't know.
Yep, I agree.
So, R.I.P. Choco Taco. Go stock up now while you can.
Yep.
If you're one of those Choco Taco people like Tyler.
If you haven't had one, go have one. I don't know if I can trust you anymore. Gosh.
All right. So good luck today in all your daily fantasy and your sports betting. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.